Alright guys, so I'm here with Gerald, who is part of our locals here at Kingslayer Cards, and he's going to introduce us a brand new deck that's coming up for History Collection. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I've been working on the Murakumo deck for History Collection, and since Yasui is the one getting support, Yasui is the deck I built. Alright, so of course there's the starter. And then, so starting off the deck at the grade 3s, we're going to be running 1 G Yasui and 2 V Yasui. The main purpose, while this is probably the better of the two to get into in your first turn, is a restanding Vanguard is still very threatening the first turn. If you don't have a proper setup, this is always a good play. And this gets you the 2 Excel markers with the new stride coming out. It still makes good combos. The real intention here is just to make sure you have those first 2 Excel markers, and then we continue to run the V Yasuis. Because it's important to get as many Excel markers as possible just to continue to gain advantage. After that, we're running 4 Tenma because it's very good control. It increases consistency for V and has a lot of good combos because running multiple copies of the same card makes the deck more consistent. As an early advantage engine, I'm running 4 One-Eyed Muto. It's at the end of the turn, if there's 2 or more of this, you put them into Soul as long as you have 5 or more rear guards and you draw a card. So it fuels Soul for card effects as well as giving you cards in hand because Murakumo has a huge problem with guarding. And you can easily clone it to get those advantages off, and on top of that get names of other cards. Going into the grade 2s, the real combo piece of this deck is Spellhound. Spellhound says, on play, Soul Blast 2, call out a copy of itself, and then its power and the copy's power become the same as the Vanguard, so most times when you're striding, you'll either be 26 or 27, which is a pretty good number. This also fuels the main combo, which I'm going to get into later in the video, and it's just a good powerhouse card in general. We play 4 Wand Chanter, because being able to change your name to pretty much anything while returning units to the bottom of the deck is incredibly powerful. It boosts, so you don't need to run as many grade 1s, and its Vanguard ability to call out another copy of itself or anything else on the board before you ride to grade 3 is really good as well. Like I said, this mostly just completes more combos as well as refilling resources in the deck. We're running, what's this girl's name? Itoki Girl, which is the new grade 2 that searches for grade 1s during the ride phase. We do this because I'm running a very low number of grade 1s. And its ability that when it's boosted on attack, you counterblast 1 and call a copy of any card but itself on the board is incredibly powerful, and again fuels the main combo of the deck. And like I said, increases consistency. Moving into the grade 1s, I run 3 Ataka. Ataka just searches for grade 3s, it's a decent attacker. We play 3 Metamorphox for the same reason as Wand Chanter. Being able to take the name of other cards is incredibly important in this deck because it makes the consistency better. And then we're running 3 Onibayashi. It's a good clone target. It goes into Soul, gains advantage, and unflips damage. Especially since we're running Yasui, there's no reason not to run this. It's incredible. 1 Elementaria Sanctitude, because, I mean, the card's incredible. Moving on into the triggers, we're going to be running 2 of the new Masamura trigger, the one that's going to be getting the boost that goes into Soul if you're a Yasui Vanguard. And when you reveal it on the damage check, it draws a card. These are just in place because they have the same name. The extra draw power is going to be really good, and you need to be running some crits in the deck because these are the only 2 crits we run because stands are way more important. So this is going to be great advantage in the long run. Then we're running 3 Hiden Scroll. Hiden Scroll is GB on place. Return it to the deck and choose any unit on the board and clone it twice. Once again, completes combos, just a good board fixer, generates advantage. Goes in the back of the deck to hit stands. We're running 3 Dart Spider because Counter Charge and Soul Charge are both very important in this deck. And stands are important. 3 Leaves Mirage is the draw triggers because draw trigger perfect guards and we need the advantage. 1 Over Trigger from Dragon Nation because getting the extra Vanguard attack pretty much any turn is really good. And then we're running 4 of the grade 3 Heal Guardian. I might change the numbers and run the new one that, or the updated one that binds, but I haven't really tested it out, and the early game guard is better because Murakumo doesn't really have any G Guardians. Moving on into the G Zone. The main boy we're going to be running, this is just a proxy for the other Ushimitsu, is the Ushimitsu train. So this is the new card that comes out in History Collection, that when we stride it on top of Yasui using its effect, you get 2 Excel markers, which is incredibly important. And for all the ones that are getting support, I actually think this is one of the better ones. It's now always goes off effect is at the end of the battle, it will clone one thing twice, and then those units go back to the bottom of the deck. Great targets are things like Nudo. We could always clone Onibayashi. Getting more copies of Spellhound for multiple attacks is really good. Tenma is also a great target. All of these are great targets for Ushimitsu train, whether or not you need to gain advantage or if you want to get board control or be aggressive, so it opens up a lot of combos and just very strong plays. We're still running 2 of the Azu Shishima Home, whatever her name is. We're still running 2 of her because she's still a very good effect. And then to combo with her, we still run 2 Shibaraku Victor. You flip the Shibaraku Victor over for this, all of your units can attack from the back row, and then you can call these to rear guard. This card is not nearly as powerful in Yasui as it is in Shiryuki because your opponent's not at lower power, but it's still always a great combo and a great card on its own. We're running 2 Tenma because with the other Tenma, when you miss with your Vanguard, you can call one from the deck, you get more control. Just a great card in general because it combos with a lot of stuff. Just a good alternate option. We're doing 1 Shibaraku Buster, that's its original name, because you can combo it with, like I said, the Yasui Tenma in the main deck, because it's still a great target to call to the rear guard. Getting the extra drive checks is always good, and it's just an option if you don't have a real board set up. And then the main boss we're running is Homura Rider. Homura Rider in this deck has a combo that can allow it to attack 5 times while getting multiple attacks off in the Vanguard. I will continue to explain that in a different part of the video. It's very good. This is going to be the new Messiah because getting that extra guard is actually incredible. And then I am running 1 Shishi Yuzuki and 3 Aizen because our G-Guard lineup is really awkward. One of these could probably come out if I needed the extra room, but I like having the option. This is one of the few decks where units stay on board at the end of turn, so having the multiple copies and being able to bounce them. Things like Metamorphox is really good. Yasuis that are still stuck on board, you can use them for stride or re-riding. And then this is good for getting those same units off the board if needed. Alright, and then we'll go into the combo. Alright, going into the main combo of the deck, we want to stride into the main boss, which is Homura Rider. I'm only playing 2 of them. I might change numbers to play 4, but this combo really isn't going to be able to go off more than once consistently. By this time, you should have a lot of soul built up with the different one-eyed Mutos, with the Onibayashis if you've used any of the Dart Spiders, but you should have something like 7 to 8 in soul. You can do it with less, you can do it with more. Either way it works. The cards you're going to want to have on board are the Itoshiki girls, who clone something on attack. You're going to have a Metamorphox, which is going to take the name of an Itoshiki girl, so now you have 3 of them on board. And preferably 2 Wand Chanters on board. At minimum, you do need these 3 on board, or any combination of 3 units that take the names of other units, and 1 Itoshiki girl, but doing this allows you an entire extra Vanguard attack. The unit you're going to be copying is going to be Spellhound. Now when you play it from your hand at the very beginning, you're going to pay the cost, and you're going to call another Spellhound from deck. When that one comes out, you pay the cost, and you call another one from deck. This gives you 3 of them on board, 2 of them in the back row with the fake names, and you're going to have these. So this is how we start. These are all going to be 27. You're going to attack 27, 27, 27. Now the Vanguard attacks. The Vanguard says at the end of the battle it attacks, you return 3 units of the same name to the bottom of deck. And then it restands at the cost of losing 1 drive check for the turn. So it'll only twin drive each time you do this. So you swing and you boost with Wand Chanter, since that's his skill. So check 1, check 2, and now we pay his cost. We've returned 3 units to the bottom of the deck. It's very important that the one you keep on board is a real Spellhound for 2 reasons. You just get to restand him with triggers, and you need something to clone with Itoshiki Girl. So these 3 go to the bottom of the deck. Now, Homura Rider stands. We're going to attack with the Itoshiki Girl, boosted by her own skill. We're going to pay cost 1 right now, and we're going to call out Spellhound. When this Spellhound comes out, you're going to Soul Blast 2 more, and call out 1 more. Now both of these are 27 again. You attack with them, 1, 2, and we're going to swing with Vanguard again. Now this returns 3 units, we drive check 1, check 2, and we return 3 units to the bottom of the deck. And he stands. Now a Toshiki Girl swings. It's going to copy this Wanchanter, which is taking the name of Spellhound. That's going to do that. You're going to Soul Blast 2. You get one more Spellhound. Now, if you had the Soul, you could call out one more, and then you have a unit you can keep standing. If not, it doesn't matter. You just need to have 3 on the board for his skill. Now Homura Rider's going to swing. Homura Rider's going to do the drive check. 1, 2. Put those into our hand. And it's going to return the 3 units named Itoshiki Girl. And now he's going to stand again. You swing with the Spellhounds. It doesn't matter if you swung with the Spellhounds before or after this attack. It just depends if you thought you might hit stand triggers, because this is the last attack that stand triggers could have gone off. You attack with Homura Rider again. 1, 2. Put 3 units to the bottom of the deck. Stand one more time. Swing. 1, 2. Now this gets a little weaker because you're hitting stand triggers, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Vanguard attacks. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rearguard attacks. Most people who can survive that turn either were cracked, hit triggers, or we just didn't get our right setup. The combo does require quite a bit of setup, but I feel that it's honestly not that hard the way the deck plays. You gain a lot of advantage through draw power, and those pieces are all good on their own as well. And that is the combo. I think Murakumo is pretty underestimated, but with the History Collection buff, it's probably going to get a decent power creep. It may not be tier 1, but I think it will be a very strong rogue deck in the format once again.
What's the next deck profile you're bringing us?
Hopefully either Grand Blue or Nubatama.
Alright, so with that being said, guys, thank you for sticking with us. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and click on that notification bell. For any of your trading card needs, go to kingslayercards.com. We'll see you next time.